everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be colouring the rest of a page that I started in this book by Anastasia Koldareva. It's Amarantine colouring book, and I started this page a few days ago, and it's this one. Yeah, it's took me quite a long time to get this amount done so far. We've been having like a heat wave over here in the UK, and it's just been too hot to colour. It's been, my colouring space is in my bedroom, so obviously heat rises and it's so hot in here. Today it has cooled down a little bit, so I just thought I'd hop on and try and get this page finished. So you can see I've already done the background. Now I did sort of follow an idea that I've seen Colour Me Stress Free do. She does it more technical than me, she does it better than me. But I just literally whacked it on with a paintbrush up and down. I used a red and a yellow acrylic paint, and then I did use a bit of the Windsor and Newton gold ink over the top, so it has got a bit of a shine to it, a gold shine on top. The sunflower and the skin I've done in polychromos pencils, and the black was an acrylic paint as well. So I'm going to get straight into it. Just going to fold this over, and I am going to put some paper under these pages just because I used a bit of stickles here, and I don't want to be getting strange bumps when I'm colouring the hair. So I'm going to pad that. That's something to be mindful of if you ever use stickles on a page. It's just curling up this book a little bit where I've did all the acrylic painting, but once I've shoved this book in between other books on my shelf, it'll straighten right out. They always do, so don't worry about that. So I'm going to do a quite unusual hair colour for me today. Just, they're not really colours that I would normally pick out, but I thought I would just give it a go and see what it turns out like. So I wanted her to be brunette to go with the theme of what's going on here, but I picked out these colours. So my lightest colour I've picked out is Venetian red 190. Then I picked out a India red 192, and then I picked out a Caput mortuum 169, and I might put in a little tiny bit of black at the end just in the darkest places, but we'll see. So first off, I'm going to base it all, as I always do with her. I'm going to base it all with a Venetian red 190. Hope the camera's picking that up. I can't really see my camera very well from this angle. If you can hear, I'm going to zoom out a bit just because when I zoomed right in last time I was off camera a lot. I'm so bad for that. But yeah, if you can hear a lot of traffic, I have got the window open because it is still hot. It is still really hot in here. So also, because it's a Friday night, there is quite a lot of rowdy people going past, teenagers shouting, etc. I hope none will go past while I'm filming, but you know, I'm not in control of that. So I'm just using a really light pressure with this. I just thought these was nice colours. I've no idea what it's going to turn out like. I'll either love it or hate it, but hey ho. I've never used it before. If it's nice, I'll make sure to log down the combo, because I never write them down. Never ever write my combos down. I suppose I can always look back at my videos of the ones that I've done on camera, but yeah, never write them down. The skin was just the beige red, cinnamon, a bit of coral, and burnt sienna. That's what I used on the skin. It's turned out quite nice. Been in the garden all day today. I bought a swimming pool, a little, I think it was 8.5 feet, 8.5 foot long, a little rectangular one, and I've got the wrong pump and it won't fit on to inflate the pool, so I had to do it using my good old lungs. which sent me dizzy. Sent me dizzy in this heat. But the kids were happy once it was up. And you're going to laugh at me, but my partner was at work. And the hose pipe is in the outhouses. We have like little outhouses. And there's loads of spiders. Loads, I mean loads. And I'm petrified. I've got proper arachnophobia. So I didn't want to go in the outhouse for the hose pipe. So I ended up filling it up with jugs and bowls of water. I roped the kids in. We had a little production line going on of bowls being filled and tipped into the swimming pool. Oh, it's so bad that, isn't it? I'm terrified of them. Terrified. And it's even worse when you know there's loads of them in there and you know they're just gonna jump out at you. So that's a nice little layer of that. That's looking nice so far. I like the look of that base. So now I'm going to go in with the Caput mortuum 169. Get a good shot of that or not. And I'm going to start with the darkest areas with this one. So I'm going to turn you slightly and I will just bring you in a little bit. And we'll start here. So I've picked out similar colours to what I used on this, the centre of this sunflower, I think. So I thought it'd look quite nice like that. But we'll see, we'll see. I've not had no tea today, I'm not in the mood. It is roasting hot. I think it's supposed to start cooling down from now a few degrees. So has anybody got anything planned for the holidays, summer holidays, if your kiddies are off school? Or just if you're planning on going to the beach or anything like that? Yeah, that exciting stuff. I want to take the kids to the beach, but I'm just terrified that it's going to be packed out. Naturally it is, isn't it? It's going to be packed. It's harder to keep an eye on where your kids are when it's so busy. And having two little monkeys, three, what like to run off, it's not the best when it's busy. Gives me anxiety. She definitely had to be brunette, this lady, definitely. It was either that or a redhead, but I thought it would sort of get what's the right word? Blend into the background instead of standing out if I did it red, with this being red in the back. I don't know. My pencils, even these polychromos, I'm struggling with them today. They're not as hard. They've gone really soft with the heat. Gone really soft in the heat. They're not giving me that brilliant point they normally do. I wouldn't like to try and whack the Prismacolors out now. I don't like them at the best of times. I wouldn't like to try and use them when they're melting. Has anybody still been colouring with the Prismacolors in the heat? I'm going to drag this down a little bit more for when I bring in the next shade. Yeah, they're really soft, these pencils. I think I need to put them somewhere cool tomorrow. But where's a cool place? Where could I put my pencils? Could I put them on top of the fridge freezer? Not in it, like just resting on top where it's cold. What would happen if you actually put them in the freezer, do you think? I'm going to go in a bit darker down here, under the ear. That bit's in shadow, so that bit's going to be nice and dark. There we go. Gonna go on to the other side of the hair now. Just give my pencil a quick sharpen. Let's turn you around a little bit just so I can get a good angle on it. I took my daughter and son to the hairdressers as well yesterday. My two youngest. I have to beat them in on different days. Well, my partner took my son for his done, and I took my daughter. She wasn't impressed. She struggles with new places and new people, so we ended up sat on the floor of the hairdressers where she had it cut, which was nice. I was covered in hair. That was fun. The hairdressers were lovely though, really patient with her. Because you do feel awkward, you feel like you're eating into the time, and you start thinking to yourself, oh, what's an acceptable amount of time to let them be this patient with them before leaving, before saying it's okay, we'll try again. But yeah, they were belting with her, and she had it cut, so it's like just touching her shoulders now, which is fab, because she doesn't let me tie it up. So it's nice to have it, you know, not too long for school, then it still looks nice and neat and tidy. Right, I'm gonna spin you around this way and hope that I'm in shot. I'm quiet tonight. I'm filming it's quite late actually. I've waited till it's cooled down and the kids are in bed. Because obviously with them being off now because the summer holidays, I can't do any colouring or filming during the day. So it's really late. I think it's about 11 PM. So I'm trying to be a bit quieter. Then I don't wake them up. But to be honest, when they're asleep, they're not too bad. It's the getting them to sleep part that's hard. Getting them to sleep's a nightmare. But yeah, they've gone really soft, these pencils. I'm not liking how they're going down, to be honest. They're not liking the heat. Saying, help me. Yeah, so if you've got any pencils in your collection that you don't use because you find them too hard, get them out now while it's hot. You might learn to love them. Might be a new favourite summer pencil. Whatever it is. So if this doesn't turn out the way I like it, you know why. Because the pencils are too soft. Right, just going to get this bottom bit and then we'll go in with the other shade. I think it might look like she's got some sort of highlights when I've done with this. It might not. We'll see. So I'm going to go in next with the India Red, and this is 192. And I'm going to drag this colour right down so we've only got a little bit of a highlight going on. So I'm going to start up here. Let me check, I'm still a short answer. Yeah. Now this colour has like a red, it's like a red tone, browny red. You can see I'm dragging it right through to this area here, just lightly for now. Right, and then I'm going to start from the bottom, so here, and I'm going to work up and pull it up there. It's looking really nice, this. I think it goes really well with the rest of the picture, the colours. What do you reckon? It's a shame I won't be able to do a live stream for about 6 weeks. I've not live streamed for a while, to be honest. I think it's just been one thing after another. From isolating to the kids sapping my energy. 6 weeks. I think it's actually 7 for a few of the children, because they're doing a staggered intake when they go back, based on year groups. So my eldest daughter is only going back the week after the school opens. So she's going to she actually ends up having about 7.5 weeks off school for the summer holidays. Shocking, that, isn't it? I think they should break it up more, definitely, throughout the year rather than one big bulk of time off. I'm going to very lightly just go into that highlight. I'll leave it at that for now. Then I'm going to do this bottom section. Let's just get that in. Sharpen my pencil. Let's wipe the dust off. I'm actually using my brush today, and I know it's because I've just painted my nails, so if I waft it with my hands I'm going to get nail varnish on the page. There we go. So I'm going to start on to the other side of the hair now, and then I might go back in and deepen up some of this in the end, but we'll see. I might like the delicate look yet. I'm just going to spin you round where I get this bit. Just going to get into the corners of there that I've missed. There we go. I'm very quiet today. I think that sun's wiped me out. If anyone wants me to put in the description any of the colours I used as well for the skin or possibly the sunflower, just let me know and I'll pop them in if anyone's interested. Like I say, I would have done a full colour along, but I've just not, with having the kids at home, just not had the time without them being here, being noisy. And obviously with me having the pool in the back garden now, I can't come away from the back garden because it's not safe. With the little toddlers, I have to stay in the garden and watch them, so... I'm gonna spin my boot back round now. Apologise for all the spinning, but if you've done hair or you do a lot of hair, you'll know that you have to get the right angle. To get the right angle on these things. You can see that colour now, which is similar to what we've been using there. This bit I'm going to have quite dark, 'cause it's sort of in the shadows a bit there. Last little bit on this colour down at the bottom. I'm going to give this girl as well some lovely big brown eyes. I've not picked the colours out for it yet though. Has anybody else used these colours on her before? Who likes using the polychromos? I think it's looking quite nice. Let's bring you back down by just adding a bit more darkness in some places. Just going to give it a wee sharpen. Oops, it's a bit carried away there then. Just going to darken up some of this and then we'll see what it looks like. You can just keep layering and layering. You can put all your, you can go through all your combos and then go through them again till you get the depth that you want. And it gives the appearance of lots of hair as well, lots of thick texture the more hair strokes you do, I find. Looks like a bit of a root fade, is that what you call it these days? I'm overdue an appointment at the hairdresser's, long overdue one. Do something fancy with my hair for a change. But I'm undecided on what colour I want to go. I keep looking at like auburn colours and then I keep thinking, should I go back blonde? Because I've been all sorts of colours. I've been yellow blonde, I've been white blonde, I've been chocolate brown, I've been light brown, I've had highlights. I've had the works. I did once go to the hairdresser's and ask for a chocolate brown, and honestly I came out with black hair. I hated it. It was literally black. Just turning my pencil to try and get a sharp point. They're really not liking the heat, these. Move that paper. I'm going to move on to this bottom bit here and just put a bit more darkness in there. There we go. I'm going to put a tiny bit more darkness down here, and then I'm going to leave it. I'm going to stop tweaking it. I could keep on going and keep on going and keep fiddling. That's my problem. Now normally when I do a hair colour, I put a base down, then I have my darkest colour, then my medium tone, and then right at the end I go back in with the base colour that I used. But I'm not sure I want to go back in with the base colour that I used on this one, because I'm not sure what it's going to do to the hair colour if I do. Normally it's a more neutral base colour that I put in. Noisy cars going past again. All the boy races come out at night time. There we go. I think I'll leave the hair at that. It's quite a nice colour. Goes well with the page, I think. Look at me still tweaking. Stop tweaking, Kirsty, stop tweaking. Right, I'm gonna go in with the eyebrows now, and I'm gonna go in with the colour I've just used first, and then I'm gonna go in with some darker strokes. So still with the India Red 132, I'm just going to put a few little strokes in with this. Let's bring you in. Let's turn you round. So like I do with the hair, I like to build on the eyebrows as well. So I'm just going to do the other side as well. I always like to put a few more wispy ones as well at the front. Like that. And now I'm going to go in with the Caput mortuum 169. Just going to give it a sharpen so we've got a really sharp point on it. There we go. And now the other side. There we go. That's her eyebrows done. So next up I'm going to go in with her eyes. So I think I'm going to use, let me have a look in my collection of pencils. And look what colour this is. I think I'm going to go for the Van-dyck-brown 176. So I'm going to base it very lightly with this. And the same with the other side. I like to do both sides at the same time. I very rarely go in on one side fully and then do the other. I like to, you know, do it both at the same time. So the next colour that I'm going to use is the Burnt Umber. Is that the pencil I just got out? Yeah. Burnt Umber 280. And I'm just gonna start by outlining the edge of the iris. And then what I like to do is use circular motions to bring it out a little bit. To sort of blend in towards the centre, if that makes sense. You do sometimes have more of a shadow under the top lid, so if you want to go in darker over there you can do, like that. Possibly leave a little highlight around here, and I'm going to do that on this side as well. like that. Now I'm going to get my black, give it a really good sharpen, because we're going to go around the outsides with this. So I'm just going to follow the lash line. Sometimes I do put extra lashes in, sometimes I just follow what the artist has already put in. It just depends what I feel like at the time. And then the bottom lash. And then I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to turn you around for this eyelash. Oh, I wonder what pencil I've dropped on the floor. There we go. I'm going to turn you around and I'm going to do the centre of the eye. So I'm going to go in where you can see the circle that's been done by the illustrator. I'm going to go in very dark, and then I'm just going to buff out the edges so they're not so harsh. Because if you look into someone's eye, you will see that there's actually like little lines coming off of it. So that's how you'll create a more natural appearance. If you can slightly see the difference. Right, for the actual inside of the eye, I'm going to pick out a little bit of a pink tone. So I'm going to use the Salmon 130. I'm just going to go in the corner of the eye and blend it out a little bit here. Again in the corner there. And then I'm going to get a grey. So I think I'm going to use a light grey. And this is the Cold Grey 230. And I'm going to use this to just put a really tiny amount coming from that pink and dragging it in a little bit. You'll barely be able to pick it up on camera, but it's there, and it makes it look a bit more realistic. Then I'm going to use the Cinnamon 189 to just go along this lash line. And then I'm going to get my Arteza white gel pen, my trusty Arteza. my 0.6 today, I think. I'm just going to brighten these highlights. Just sort of put in what I want to put in. And then we've just got the lips to do. I'm leaving this little bit at the top lighter, and I'm going to use the beige red over that little section. So there we have it. That's the page done. So let's zoom you out. That's it. Can move that paper now. I've just decided as well I'm going to put a little earring in with some stickles. This is the copper stickles, just for fun. I like to do this sometimes. I hope this is the one that works. And we'll just pop that there, and that will dry very nicely when it dries. Give you a close up. Hope you enjoyed my little bit of a chat and catch up, albeit a bit of a quiet one because it was a bit quiet. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.